How do I nurture and develop coaching skills? Well, coaching is a practice. Okay, so once we've got over the foundational knowledge that you need to get started, the only way you're going to grow as a coach is through practice. I'm sorry if that's scary. I'm sorry if you wanted another training course. Get you more training courses. Nothing wrong with them. More knowledge is not going to harm you. But you're not going to improve until you start coaching. You have to do it. So, what you need to do is find opportunities where you can practice. As a Scrum Master or an Agile coach, if you're not alone, many businesses, the Scrum Masters and coaches find themselves sat on their own. But if you're not one of those people, you're in a larger organisation with Scrum Masters and Agile coaches around, well, they're all coaches as well. They need to improve their practice. Talk to them. Set up a coaching triad internally. That only requires you to find 2 other people that are willing and open to trying things out, to practicing further. Meet on a regular basis and run a coaching dojo. All that is we have one coach, one coachee, and one observer. The coach is there to practice coaching. Okay? It is about them. The focus here is on the coach, not the coachee. So if that is you, you're in the hot seat, remember, you're here to practice. We can just run a coaching session and maybe we'll get better. The greats in any discipline don't do that. The greats are very deliberate about how they practice. So, instead of just diving into coaching, I want you to think about where you need to improve, where you want to explore in your practice today. And then turn to the observer and tell them that. Maybe it's in contracting, maybe it's that opening sequence where it's understanding what's the purpose of the conversation, what does a great answer look like for your client. Tell you the observer that. I want you to focus on the contracting phase. I want you to really pay attention to what I do and why I do it. And that gives the observer their role. They're there to help you. They're there to be a mirror. They're there to offer you feedback and challenge. And if you've given them a place to focus, it's much easier. Rather than general vague statements about your coaching, you tend to ask leading questions. This question was really nice, but that one waffled on. They can turn around and say, well, John, that was interesting that you started with that question and that led them down this pathway. But you never seemed to follow it up. You took 2 levels deep and I felt there was another level down there. Or you contracted really nicely, but you never came back and recontracted when the conversation shifted. Whatever it is about contracting that they observed in my practice can now be brought to me to reflect on. And that way I'm going to improve not only as a coach, but in the contracting side of coaching, which is better than this vague improvement goal that we set. So we've got the coach, we've got the observer. They are there, as I've just said, observing that specific thing. And we have the coachee. Turn up with a real issue to be coached on. You want to be better as a coach? That means, I hope, you believe coaching is a worthwhile and effective use of your time. Don't make stuff up. Come with a real issue. Be coached. Be open to be coached by somebody. But be nice. They're practicing. They're trying stuff out. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. You'll recognise the frameworks in use. You'll recognise how they're structuring questions. Try and step away from that if you can. Okay? And be the coachee. Be the client in this situation. Just let yourself be coached. Okay? You'll be surprised, even in a short period, how much work you can do. Even in a practice session. So, if you've got that inside your organisation, it's great. I wholly recommend that you find that your Scrum Master community, your Agile coaching community, and if they don't have this going, get it set up. But be very deliberate when you come together. What are you, and this is you. This is not what are we practicing, because where your practice is very different to where other people in the group's practice is. So take that time out of work. It is work, okay? Take that time out of your day-to-day and be a very deliberate coach that practices all of the key elements over time, and you will radically transform your coaching skill set and confidence. That's great if you've got them. What do you do if you want to set that up, but you look around and there's just you? You're the only coach or scrum master in the organisation. Everybody looks at you like you're a little bit crazy. Well, what I would say is do the same thing, but out in the open. It's a bit scarier. It may be a bit harder to get it going. And that's why I created the Agile Coach Academy. It's an opportunity for Agile coaches to come together and deliberately practice, be mentored on the topics around Agile coaching. But really key to it is try this stuff out in a safe space, somewhere where you can sit down with people like yourself, okay, who are learning, and people like myself who are still learning. Okay, I may be a few steps ahead of you. I may have what is sadly not even grey, it's coming through as white in my beard. But I'm still learning, I'm still trying stuff out, I still do this. The Agile Coach Academy is very much a mentoring and coaching session for you to explore your practice as an Agile coach. Try things out in a safe space where if you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. But also, it's an opportunity for people to help you reflect on what happened, what your thinking was, okay, why there's a difference between what you intended and what actually came about, and maybe how you can approach that differently next time. And then we go back around the loop again and give it another go. It's one of my favourite things to do, is engage with Agile coaches who are passionate about Agile coaching, but also about improving as Agile coaches. It would be great to see you at one. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.